Hello from stunningly beautiful New Mexico. I'm still obsessed. Spoiler alert. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I spent the whole day today doing admin work, which is not the most exciting, thus why I didn't have a lot to show you, but it is necessary. I have two big non-continental U.S. trips coming up, Hawaii and Alaska. Hawaii at the end of this month and Alaska in mid-April. So, while exciting, is exceptionally expensive and exceptionally stressful because I don't have the safety nets I typically have when I'm just driving around the US, which is my car. And frankly, as long as I have my car, I'm generally pretty safe and pretty set. So, flying to both of those places is going to be really nerve-wracking, to be honest. It's completely out of my comfort zone, but exciting nonetheless, because who can complain about going to Hawaii or Alaska? I can't, for sure. Anyway, so Albuquerque, it's super cool. I have been exploring just a little bit. I'll do more exploring tomorrow before heading to Las Cruces, but I'm on my way to meet up with Emily, who's a friend of mine, and we're going to go to a local brewery and kind of check out some of the food trucks in the area. It's apparently a big part of the scene here. This morning I was at a coffee shop in a neighborhood close to where she lives, and it was a really cool neighborhood spot, so I'll show you that too. And then show you everything there is to see in Albuquerque tomorrow. So, non-stop fun. But first, I need a beer because I am wound up by trying to figure out all the logistics for Hawaii and Alaska. So, goodness gracious. Alright, good morning guys. I am currently in Albuquerque. I'll be heading down to Las Cruces off of Route 66 in a little bit. But before I do, I wanted to explore a lot of Albuquerque. I've done a bit of exploring at night. The past 2 nights, I was lucky enough to stay with a wonderful woman and her boyfriend who showed me around. But now I'm hitting more of the typical tourist sites and trying to see if there are people out and about I can talk to. So currently I'm in Old Town. It is the oldest part of Albuquerque. It's the original center of Albuquerque. So I'll show you the town square. And then basically Albuquerque, which is about 550,000 people, has kind of sprawled out from this area right off the Rio Grande, I'm not really sure how to say it, river, obviously. So the purpose of putting it here was because of the river. It was an easy way to get supplies in and to encourage a flow of merchants and other commerce into the city, and then obviously out of the city in terms of goods and stuff. So walking around this district, it's now a pretty touristy area, but it is kind of restored and preserved all of these historic homes and shops. So I'll show you around a few of them, including one of the oldest churches in New Mexico. Alright, I am about to head on the road. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace Route 66 from Albuquerque down because it goes a little south of Albuquerque, and then when it starts to head west, I am going to switch it off, go into my GPS, and start navigating to Las Cruces, which is about 5 hours south without highway down New Mexico. So I'm excited to see kind of what the state looks like. I anticipate that it's going to probably be a little similar to Arizona, how it's more deserty towards the south and more mountains towards the top, but honestly, I have no clue. And that's kind of really exciting. I have no frame of reference. I have no idea what to expect, but it is warm here already. It's like 60-some degrees. So it's going to be a good day regardless. I'm going to roll down my window, open up my sunroof, put on some music, and get going because I am ready for a good day. Okay, so first of all, New Mexico continues to be astoundingly beautiful. Just at some point I know it's probably too many videos and photos to show you, but like I just cannot stop myself because around every single turn it's something new and I'm just so obsessed. It's amazing. Oh god, it's so beautiful. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous state. Yeah, so that's part one. Part two, about an hour and a half away from where I'm going, which is Las Cruces. It's on the southern portion of New Mexico, a little closer to El Paso and a little closer to the Mexican border. I'll be spending 3 nights there, and then exploring the kind of surrounding area from there. So I'm excited to see how different it is from northern New Mexico, both geographically, like I was talking about earlier, but also in terms of people and attitudes and things like that. Okay, guys, I am just outside of Las Cruces, which will be my next stop for the next couple days. I'm going to kind of treat this as a home base, explore this area and the surrounding area. I'm very excited to be somewhere for more than just a day or two. I will be here until Friday, midday, so it should be really exciting. I can't wait to show you everything I find. But I wanted to talk real quick because I was thinking about some stuff while I was on my long drive this morning. Several people, starting when I got into Oklahoma, then into Texas, and then into New Mexico, have made comments to me about how when they got to this area, it felt like they were going back in time. And honestly, I can understand why. A lot of the places I've been have been extremely rural, but even in the cities, like, there's just a different feeling in the air. It just feels less rushed and less go and everything, with all the attitudes that you would get on one of the coasts or even in Chicago, which is interesting, and it makes me think about whether that's a product of the culture and the people who live in these places, or if it is how those people kind of learn and become who they are. That's one thought. Second thought, along those same lines, is when I was driving today, for a majority of my drive, I had 0 cell phone service. Or when I had cell phone service, I was in extended, I had 1 bar. And when you talk about access to the internet and access to technology jobs and things like that, and then you go into these communities where there isn't any, or what they have, it's so limited, you wonder, how can you not feel that small towns are being left behind by the way our economy is growing and changing? So, second thought. Yeah, I don't know. That's, I guess, the only real big, bold claims I have for you today. Kind of what I'm thinking on. Something I'll continue to ask people about as I make my way through New Mexico and onward. But for now, I've got about another 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so, and then I'll get to my final destination for today. So, super excited. Okay, actually one more thing. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I wanted to talk about it. It started, I guess, when I was in Delaware, and I know that feels like a million years ago, but I make a point to listen to the radio almost the whole time while I'm driving. It helps me kind of better understand an area. I don't even flip typically when you get to ads, because I like to listen to the ads. I like to hear what's being advertised, what people are talking about, what are the main events. That's how I find a lot of my local events that I go to. It's how I found that odd politically leaning ad that I shared a couple days ago for that tanning salon. But what I've noticed is kind of the kind of radio stations that are offered. So in Delaware, your choices for radio stations that I could find were conservative talk radio or like a pop station. And those were the choices. And when you got into Oklahoma, it was a similar thing. I couldn't even find any talk radio. I just had all country stations and one rock station. And then when I switched over into New Mexico, not in the city, but like when I was driving through all these rural areas, I had two stations. I had NPR, and then I had AM, like kind of mixed genre, mixed decade, kind of please everyone kind of station. And it's interesting to me because growing up outside the city, I guess I never really thought about the radio in terms of access or anything. You just flip to whatever station you wanted. But in places like this where you can't get a wide variety, it's kind of similar to what I was just talking about. Is it like a correlation or a causation? Do those radio stations exist because those audiences, that's what they want? Or is that what audiences want because that's what's available and that's what they like learn and listen to and grow from? So I don't have a good answer for that either, but I want to find out because I'm a media nerd. I'm curious about it. So we shall see. Alright, now for real goodbye. I'm going to go on to my last little bit of the drive and then I'll check in later.